I just noticed you're echoing a little bit, Jay.
Am I echoing?
Yeah.
Wow. That's weird. Are you echoing or am I echoing?
Oh, I don't hear your audio, I don't hear my, I don't hear my audio, but I hear your voice.
In the room?
No, I think it's actually feeding back a delayed signal. Like, it's like a echo, like a slight echo. It's kind of exciting.
Huh. Interesting. Maybe I'll troubleshoot while we're going here.
Or like a reverb effect. Could there be effects on the mixer by any chance?
Maybe.
It sounds like a slapback delay into a reverb or something. Anyways, hi everyone, we're here.
Hello.
Once again, as usual, we are troubleshooting technical issues at the start of our stream because that's how we roll over here. Yeah, we're here once again at our new time. And I am here for the first time at our new time. I was gone last week. I got a brief non-COVID illness. But I'm back. Yeah.
I don't actually, can you hear me now?
Yep, still doing it.
Hello? Now I'm definitely in a hall, aren't I? Can you guys hear that effect?
It doesn't sound that different
It
from
doesn't?
how it sounds.
Then it already sounds?
I kind of wonder if it's like
I don't know what's happening. I'll turn that off.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The effect slider, maybe it was up a little bit. I'm not sure. Maybe I just need to soundproof the room a little bit better.
Yeah, it's still doing it. It really sounds like an effect. That's so, I wonder, it sounds like, so probably everyone, Al, can you hear this on the stream? Like Jay's voice echoing?
Testing 1, 2. Can you hear me echoing in this room? Is it like a feedback kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like a delay. It's like a, well, so, okay.
Are you?
Let's have an audio engineering moment, y'all. So what is, so echo versus reverb. So when you make a sound and that sound repeats later, that's echo or delay. We call it delay because it's literally like the way you do it is you delay the signal until later. And if you delay that signal and then feed that signal back into itself, you get repeats.
Sorry, the A10's acting up too.
Oh, that's all right.
Everything's acting up today.
So Al says that it sounds normal, so that it must, can you put effects on tracks in my,
Are you
on a per mix basis?
Are you on B?
I am in B.
Okay. I don't think that I can, but I can look. Oh, you know what? You can.
There it is. Yes, cool. Awesome.
I don't know how that happened, but there was you can have effects per output. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's it's an interesting feature, because you so it's but that's good to know, right? Per mix basis. There's totally reasons to have that, right? You might want like a lot of vocalists like their more reverb in their ears than they might hear on stage. And some people have the opposite feeling of like my friend Lindsay hates hearing reverb on her voice. But it sounds nice in the room,
Definitely, yeah. It's one thing just listening to yourself, but having an extra effect on it, definitely, I could see how that would be.
It was a little distracting.
Really weird.
Thanks for helping us troubleshoot that, Al.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was super interesting. Anyway, so an echo is like a delay, a bunch of repeating signals, right? And so what a reverb is just a bunch of diffuse echoes. Tons of echoes echoing in the space all together, canceling each other out, interfering with each other, making it sound weird. And so that's why I was like, it sounds kind of like a delay or a reverb, because it's kind of the same thing. Anyways, problem solved. We had effects on my mix, but not y'all's.
Cool.
So a cool feature of this mixer.
That is cool.
Yeah. Anyways, this is not what we wanted to talk about today, although here we are.
So yeah.
Yeah, how do you want to introduce this thing?
Yeah, so I was thinking about how we've had a kind of a cool multi-part series in the past. If those of you have been longtime viewers, have probably remember when we did the diner scene with our unique Blender characters and the cool all the Foley and stuff we did for that whole animated scene. So we're thinking of doing something similar, but more in this sort of idea of a music video instead of like a little narrative thing. Corey's got some awesome tracks that that he will share with us, and also we'll be looking at some inspiration for a piece and be doing this probably for a few weeks, trying to come up with something that's like a finished little music video of some sort. So
I will say that I have always wanted cool animated videos to my music. I've always been a big animation fan, and so like this is the sorts of videos that catch my eye when I see, like, I will admit I'm not like a huge music video watcher. I'm an auditory person, and I consume music auditorily primarily. But like, you know, like music videos are cool and are a great chance for people to express themselves in a more abstract way. So much video and so much animation is like concrete or like what's representational, you know? And so like the abstract nature or the potential for the abstract nature of the music video allows those things to get a little abstract too. And so I love that kind of 3D stuff when it gets a little weird, or animation in general when it's not like, when it's a little funky. So I have a couple examples of music videos that I like queued up that are like things that I think are interesting that we could take a look at here at some point. Should we play the song first, or how do we want to do this?
Let's look at I guess we can listen to the song.
We don't need to hear the whole thing.
Yeah,
just talk about it.
To like get a vibe of what's going on, and then
Sure.
we can look at the references. I guess that's a good way to start.
Totally. So I have been like, you know, I've been doing. When we started the stream, like we did a lot more Ableton production stuff early on, you know, and we drifted like mostly because I was like, I'll do this so Jay can focus on running the stream. And so I did a lot of production stuff, and some of those things that I ended up making I thought were kind of cool. And over the last, you know, however long this has been going on, 2 years now almost?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Not longer.
Oof. I've been collecting some of these tracks and also making some at home. And I've sort of got a collection that I like going, and they're approaching a point of doneness, which is interesting. So I'm gonna put out like a album or mixtape of a bunch of weird stuff that's like wasn't in, you know, I think of it like a mixtape, right? Because it wasn't really intended to be an album when I sat down to make it. And so there's a bunch of disparate sounds. Like it's not very, it's kind of all over the place, like my musical interests are. I pulled one out that was like, I thought would be a good candidate for something that was going to get a 3D animated treatment. My thoughts are, I want it to be kind of dynamic, I want the music to give something. Like, I mean, obviously all music should be dynamic and interesting, but you know, like I didn't want it to just be like a flat, like a techno track which is like straight dynamics the whole time. I wanted something with like a build and some range that like would be more evocative maybe of like some sort of visual thing. And then I also wanted to pick something that was kind of short because this is tedious, time-consuming work. And it would be friendly to anyone working on an animation to like not give them a 5-minute track, you know. So this is a under 2.5 minutes track. I'll just play a little bit of it. This is a work in progress, so it's, you know, subject to change.
Lost Cory's audio.
Nope.
Muted yourself on accident. I got you.
Oh, huh. Oh, it's like pressed up against I got my transmitter in my pocket, and it like bumped up against my AirPods case in there. I think it turned itself off. Pull the other. That's what I got in my pockets. I got some pennies. I got a USB drive. I got some AirPods. All right.
Cool.
Cleaned up in there. Here we go.
We could still kind of hear you through the echo.
That's great. Like shout through the door into Jay's mic. If I ever upload this to YouTube, I'm gonna get a copyright strike from this stream. Just we just hear the whole thing. It's pretty short. That's the track. That's that's Baby Ricky. What's the name of that one? Yeah. Oh boy. So I'm not going to tell you what I don't like about it. But what like I think this like provides with some like it's clearly like got a lot of like there's clear sections where you can imagine like progress of some sort of action or something. You know, like I'm not. My vision of a music video for something like this doesn't necessarily narrative in structure, but like this song has something that feels narrative going on to it, you know?
Yeah,
this
definitely.
one, it tells more of a story than a lot of other tracks do. In that like the intro and the building sections and the main like drop or whatever you call that and like the outro are like all really different. There's no part that repeats ever. I mean, parts repeat and then they move on and they don't come back again.
Right.
So it's like this very like forward-moving thing. There's a second tempo at the end.
I like that.
All the good stuff, you know. So this is what I mean when I say dynamic, as opposed to like you know something that has like the same like thumping kick drum underneath the whole thing. Yeah.
So just like initial thoughts when I'm listening, a lot of times like when I've done what little I've done of like music video kind of stuff is always when I'm listening for, particularly with this, is like what sort of sound effects are in there that like cue up an image of something, and I hear that like metal hitting metal kind of noise, and the first thing I thought was somebody hammering something. You know, it was like a blacksmith like working on a sword or something like that. That was like the initial like visual that came to mind with that particular part. Of course, there's none of that in the beginning, so you have that sort of some kind of intro happening. So it's like sounds like somebody like hammering something or hitting metal against metal or something like that. So just like initial like visual there was definitely something like synced up to the music in that regard. So I guess we can check out some of the
some of my style references.
Yeah, and see what we see if there's things that give us some inspiration here.
Should we? Okay, let's.
We don't necessarily need. Do you think we need the music to go along with it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're having some funny things going on with our tech setup where the software that we use to cast my Mac's screen is not running stably.
You guys have probably noticed if you watch the stream much.
And for some reason, it's gotten worse. I think I don't know why. I tried updating the software and everything. It's all current. It's not working great. The NDI does not seem to prioritize Mac development. And so I just installed the same tools on this PC right here next to me, and it's working fine. So we're playing some video off of this laptop. Feels a little silly to have two laptops here, but that is my life now. So I'm wondering which one we want to watch first.
I'm really interested in the what was the one with
dance one?
Yeah, just to see, because I think that's kind of going to be our vibe.
It's really, yeah, okay, so let's. I think we want to talk more about that, so I want to show you the other ones first.
Okay.
Because that'll be more of a discussion.
Let's watch those then.
So just a little bit of like I just was trying to think of like some like videos that have like animated and specifically 3D animated stuff that like I think is interesting. And so I picked. Oh, I heard some of your system audio just then.
Yeah, sorry.
That's good. I picked 3 videos out that I thought were interesting, and because of YouTube copyright stuff, we're streaming on YouTube. We can't play these whole songs, but we can just show you these videos, and that's really the visual part that I want to talk about here. I'll play you a lick of the music in the last one because it's synchronized to the music in a more meaningful way. But just in terms of like sort of like the sorts of things you can create in 3D, this first one I think is really interesting because it combines representational stuff with really abstract stuff, and I think it's very effective. I'm gonna just start it. We can talk over it, right? Because we're listening to it. Hey, so right. So this was created. This is a video for Danny Harl's song "On a Mountain," and this was part of a virtual rave thing that he did. He made this album where he like produced as 4 different producers, and then each producer had a different room in this virtual rave. So this is one of them. You'll hear a little of the song trickling through my mic, probably. Hopefully that's not problematic. So like, can you hear it pretty clearly or anything, Jay? I'm not monitoring.
I mean, not over your voice when you're talking.
Okay, great. Well, that's probably good. So. As long as we're not going to get a strike. So the thing that really is eye-catching to me, right, there's some like reactive visualizing stuff. You can tell there's some like bass impact stuff causing it to shake. But I really love these like just like procedural ring stuff. You know, the clear, like you can see that there's some sort of like geometry modifier, like doing weird stuff to these things. And you know, there's like, I like the color. I like the combo of the representational and the abstract, and the sort of like just. It's almost glitchy in the, you know what I mean? Like there's these just like weird effects that you can just see like scaling and rescaling different elements, you know? That stuff. You know, you can just imagine this is like a big geometry node extravaganza, right?
Yeah, and I had to, we were talking about it earlier, and I get a feeling this is probably made in Unreal.
Yeah.
Just based on all of the changing lighting and stuff, like if we were to render something like this in cycles, it would take
years.
Yeah, forever. Like without an actual render farm, like because but Unreal Engine could do this real time, so
totally.
Maybe Well, I think it could definitely pull this off. And if not, there is like, I mean, Unreal's not just for games. It's also, you know, you can render animations out just like you can in Blender. So.
Well, like I was saying, I think this was a virtual environment that you could, like, I'm not sure how much of this video was that. I never went to check that thing out. But
it'd be really cool to watch it in VR.
Yes, I would be highly interested in experiencing that. You should bring the headset in sometime.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I love the abstractness of this one, and I think that's really what draws me to it. It's not the representational stuff is kind of cool, but it's like the sort of like the like impossible, glitching, abstract shape stuff really does it for me. So I don't know. I think this video is super cool. Maybe draw some inspiration for some like colors or some lighting effects or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, and like the other cool thing about this video is that it uses just moving through a giant scene, or really I think it's 2 scenes, as like a narrative function, right? Like it's like the narrative of the video is that you leave that space, you enter the space, and you like ascend, and then you come back, and then it's over, you know? Which is like, oh, there's a video for that? Oh, interesting. Have to watch that sometime. Okay, so that one's cool. I really like that. Here's another one that I thought was really, this is a bit older. This one's got a couple interesting things going on it. First off, it's a low frame rate. I think this has got to be like 12 instead of 24 or something like that.
Give that stop motion kind of look.
Yeah, it's actually my least favorite part about this animation because I think it would super benefit from being a little more fluid. But I'm guessing that maybe like my like guess is maybe there was a render time element to that choice. I don't know.
This also looks like it could be in a game engine just based on the shading. It looks almost like some of the default toon shading stuff you can get out of Unity and things like that.
Oh, interesting, yeah. Anyways, let's just why am I talking before it starts? I'm so used to like introducing a piece of music. I can talk over this.
Yeah.
So I've
seen this one a few times. I do like it.
This over and over again.
Yeah.
So I think this one's cool. Like this is probably the closest thing to like the sort of thing you described, Jay, where it's like a character moving through a world, like encountering some sort of problem and overcoming it kind of thing. You know? Like there's like a story in this video, like a narrative story. And again, like you see why I like it, right? Like here's the weird trippy stuff, you know, like and it gets weirder from here. Like the abstract nature of this whole thing. Like don't put your finger in there, don't do it. And you did it. Yeah, this stuff. It's fascinating to me. So what do you think that's about? Is this like node-based stuff? Is it all like weird nodes in different sections of the...
I've always wondered how it's probably like some form of a particle system in some way that you can attach to.
And give it some physics maybe or something?
Yeah, it's hard to tell exactly what was used, but this is partially why I would think it was a game engine or something, is because a lot of times the game engines have a lot of this stuff sort of built in where you can build a lot more these kind of particle systems rather than sort of realistic stuff.
Yeah.
They're built a lot more for that real-time sort of style, and doing something like that in Blender would probably be a lot more intensive. Because you think about games, it's like, you know, if you have any kind of particle system for something that's supposed to be like real-time and reactive, they usually build in systems for it. So, and it's not to say that you can't do something like that in Blender. It's just like a lot of extra steps.
Totally.
So
what I love about this is I love this the shaders like it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful, and I love the colors. I think the color palette of this video is really nice. I also really like how it's just like it's so clean and like everything is as like low resolution, or like there's it's as low detail as it needs to be to like serve this, or you know, there's no more detail than it needs. That's what I'm trying to say, to serve the like style, right? I love the way the like hills look, and that whole thing, like, which like totally could be like 2D back there, you know, like or you know, or like 2D planes in a 3D space or whatever. And I really like the particle effects. That's the fun stuff in here. What do you think, mocap for this stuff?
Probably. I mean, just
like some of these motions are real fluid. Like this stuff is.
To save them time, I would say that's probably. I mean, nowadays mocap is like honestly probably a cheaper option than having someone like hand animate stuff. I mean, obviously the animals are animated, but you know, any walking or moving around, like those little jumps and stuff.
I love this so much, though. It's so cool looking.
Yeah.
I want to play a game that looks like this. I want to play this game. Like, make this into a game, please, somebody.
It's got to be, you know, I really get a feeling it's in a game engine. It sure looks like it. Right. Sometimes you, like, a lot of the shaders and things for different engines are recognizable.
Have like a telltale look.
Yeah, depending on how like far they take it from the sort of default shading of stuff. But like the environments in the background and the way that things are kind of that fog.
Yeah, it's very gamey.
Like, yeah. Which
if
it could
not,
have been made on purpose that way, and just could be totally wrong.
Right,
Does it
yeah.
say anything in the description about like a lot of times they don't
I
really
don't
tell
think
you.
I don't think this one has much
But
info at all. Like,
sometimes you can find like who made it, like what studio made it. They might have like
Encyclopedia Pictura in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Actually, produced by Ghost Robot in New York.
Oh yeah. Is that the production company for the music or the
That's the video. Huh.
Okay.
The sound design for so there's some sound design elements in the video. Obviously, y'all didn't hear that. Is done by Caitlin Aurelia Smith, who went on tour with these guys and is like an artist that I really like. This video is this is Panda Bear from the band Animal Collective. For those of you who don't know, yeah, I love that video so much. It's great. It's been around for a while. This is almost 10 years old now, but it's great. All right, are we ready to do it?
Yep. Show us the.
All right, y'all. This is my current favorite obsession. Anyone who comes around MARZ has heard this track to death. I had to stop playing it because I was driving myself crazy. This is like, this piece of music absolutely floored me when I first heard it. I can't play for you, or I won't play it for you now, or because I can't really. But please go look it up. It's so fun. It's so stupid fun. And then I saw the music video, and this blew my mind. I'm just gonna hit play. So this is, speaking of old game engine stuff, right? So first off, what a beautiful title. And then yes. So this this music video is a fighting game, basically.
They have their little intros.
If we can hear a smidge of the music, you want to hear what it's kind of like.
It just sounds like it would be.
It's a dance track. It's like, I guess in theory this is like a UK garage track, but it doesn't sound anything like that to me. But it's just so good. Yeah, no copyright strikes for us, but right. So I love the low poly animation. I love the like low res backgrounds, like the clipping through the ground, like the whole PS1 kind of energy of this whole thing. So I showed this to Jay, and Jay was like, "Oh, I kind of think I recognize some of these movements." I love this
especially
scene,
when they start dancing. Yeah.
Yeah. I love how simple this scene is. That 3D MARZ scene that you made, Jay. Like,
oh yeah.
Really reminds me of
It does look kind of like the same.
Yeah. I love that, like the Taxman's texture. Like his chest looks like it's like got like, it almost looks like Darth Vader's like chest piece somehow. I like wonder like whether these are like models are like ripped and modified from somewhere else.
I don't know. Yeah, it could be some random old game that nobody's
totally
heard of.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's just like, I mean, it could also just be like all custom made. This model is really ridiculous. Crackle, the 346-year-old lobster man who hunts his own kind.
Oh, really? He's like on
he makes some really
boat.
dark comments. He says, I love this so much. I really do. This is, I can't say enough nice things about this.
So, I mean, this is like pretty...
do you notice that they're doing the same motions? That was the same fight animation from the
Yeah.
last fight.
So that's what I'm thinking. They're definitely like found a mocap library or used Mixamo or something and got together these animations.
I'm so glad we get to watch this.
And that's just looping. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Scene cuts and
You can even see you can see the clunky point in the loop of the animation. Yeah,
yeah.
It's even like, it's totally obvious. They didn't try and hide it. They didn't try and give any of these guys fingers. And now it's a dance off.
Yeah.
I love this. So, but yeah, they're all like, you'll notice in these scenes, everyone's doing identical moves.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are clearly, it's the same mocap data, obviously.
Which you can very easily do, and I can show you how to do that in Blender. Room for another. This.
I just love the concept is that it's like it's like a fighting thing, and then they all just have like a dance party at the end. It's like so ridiculous. Oh man, I love how like silly the like detailed mocap looks on these like terribly textured low poly models.
Yeah, because back when these were made, like mocap was barely even a thing yet, so it just seems weird when they actually have some natural motion to them.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the tax man.
And I love how they just like appear in all the different like just the whole narrative and the way it functions here is so funny to me. Love Crackle.
Oh man,
get it, Crackle.
He's got the moves.
Yes. And I think they like hide the fact that they're recycling the animations. Yeah, this other one is also really trippy, brother. We haven't watched that yet. But they hide the fact that they're recycling some of the animations by putting them on the different models.
Right.
Or like showing from a different angle. Or just cutting before it repeats or whatever, you know? Like. Anyways,
so
I'm obsessed with this. Go listen to the track.
If we want to make something like similar to that, like that definitely is achievable in like the time frame that we have to do. There's a lot of things you can do. You can change in Blender to make the renders look more like this old school, like, you know, PS1, PS2 style stuff. So
I was experimenting with it a bit yesterday. Like I had some cool results, like doing like fewer passes in the render, you know, to get it to come out low res.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So if we want to look at some of that, I don't know if you've got any like ideas in particular that we can kind of let's see. Well, let's think about if we want it to be like, do we want it to be more like this one where it's like there kind of has that story to it?
It seemed like you were hearing that in the track, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like I'm not opposed to that at all.
Sort of that
like,
rising action to it, and like there's something happens like right at the end of the sort of more upbeat like right before the tempo changes. That's like the climax of the story. So whatever the mission was up to that point, so you have like, you know, that starting point where we're introduced to whatever characters, just like this one where it has like the opening scenes for each one. They kind of like break it up where you meet every character in different pieces, and then they all come together at the end.
I will say that like that track like pretty different than mine in that one it does have some dynamics, but it's pretty straight ahead the whole time.
Right.
So it's like really the video like those sections of the video don't correspond to sections in the track particularly or anything like that. So I think like doing something that's more tightly integrated would be cooler, even, you know, like obviously the dance moves are all in sync and it's look and sound great, of course, but like
oh yeah. So, you know, having it introduce our characters at first, and seeing, so that's the thing too, if we want to use like Mixamo and stuff, it can only really do humanoid characters. Anything else we probably have to animate from scratch. So that may be the easiest way to do it, but the cool thing is that it has a built-in rig thing that you can just model the characters and then it sets up the rig for you and makes it work with everything. Otherwise, typically you have to like retarget animations, and it's a real pain without some extra add-ons. So
that doesn't sound fun.
yeah, we can either like come up with character designs or we can go and like modify something. If you have like, if there's like a game character, we were talking about.
Oh yeah, like so the games resource, right?
Yeah,
that's the site.
It's probably like, you know, we're using these for educational purposes, so it's not always, you know, you don't want to take other people's resources, but there is a very cool website called Models Resource, and it has a bunch of characters from different games.
You in there right now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna poke around. So let's like maybe like we can each pick like a 3D character, or like try and find something in here that like is nostalgic for us. You know.
Okay.
Like some N64 stuff or something.
So I guess
my internet is going so slow over here.
It's going kind of a little bit slow. Let me.
Oh, I wonder if it's like here. I guess we don't need this laptop with these videos up anymore.
Okay.
That would probably save us some network bandwidth.
So here's the site. This is just the front page of it.
Dude. Sebulba from the pod racing game. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. I
from pod race.
If you from Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is the name of the game for the N64.
Star Wars Episode.
If you search Sebulba, Sebulba.
SE.
Yeah, SEBU.
SEBU.
LBA.
LBA. Oops.
Sebulba.
What did I go?
What else is in here? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I want Sebulba for sure.
Okay.
Like he's just like the silliest character, and would probably be like super janky looking, like with like some regular like mocap, because he has very strange proportions.
Oh, whoops. Okay. There we go.
Sebulba. Yeah. Yeah, slow internet today.
Just making sure that our connection is still okay.
Right. That's the one. So it's like you'll see. Like this is a silly one. So like we can try and find a more serious one too.
And we can like, oh yeah, it is really slow. I wonder if it is the NDI doing that. It shouldn't be taking up that much bandwidth, but.
Oh, here. You know what? Let me see.
Huh. Nice. Yeah, I do not recognize this character, but it would be pretty funny.
Did that help?
We'll see here in a second. So I'll go with that one.
So you don't know Sebulba is one of the rival pod racers.
Okay.
He doesn't T-pose very much. He walks on his hands and uses his feet.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So he's like not the right. So if you made him, so
yeah, so it'd be really wacky. Like I think it's funny, but we should. I'm still looking.
Okay.
We'll check out Ocarina of Time.
As an example, I do want to show.
Oh, that did help, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Or maybe not.
I want to make a new folder for this project.
Oh my gosh, they have Dampe and Ingo. They have everything. That's good.
Name this one. I don't know. Every piece of his body is a different texture. Interesting. Okay, so I do want to show off, just since we're already running our time, with this model, the auto rig tool that's built into Mixamo.
Jay.
Yeah,
there are Adventure Time characters in here.
Oh.
I just found a Lemon Grab model. I don't know why it came up under Ocarina of Time.
Was it just like...
I just kept scrolling, and here's like an entire section. There's like Forest Wizard and James Baxter and the giant goose skull.
Let's see this a bunch of times. Hold on, minimize that.
There's a LSP. Oh, dude, the giant goose skull with the chainsaw strapped all over his arms. Yes. What game is this from? Time Tangle? Have you ever heard of this?
Time Tangle?
Adventure Time Tangle. You ever heard of this game?
No.
Cool. We're definitely gonna have to like poke around in here and find some like random stuff. But
yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show everybody Mixamo real quick. So you usually have to. This is an Adobe thing, so you do have to have an Adobe account, but it is free if you just sign up for. You don't have to like pay for any Adobe stuff. But as you can see in here, there's just tons of different animations. Some of these, let's see if we can find one we might recognize. It's like, similar to any of the ones. Like, here's some starting of dance moves. Let's see. There are quite a few, so you can definitely find. There's not everything, but there is quite a bit. There's some breakdancing. Let's see if we can make Sebulba.
Sebulba.
Let's see if we can make him do some breakdancing here. So what we want to do, you can upload a character, which is really cool. So it takes FBX, OBJ, or a whole zip file.
That's wild.
I usually just do. I may actually want to do. Let's see if this comes in with the textures. So I just dropped in the OBJ that came with that download, and yeah. So it doesn't have his textures. So let me see. Let me go back and actually see if I can upload the whole zip file and see what that does.
Jay, this site has early
that works.
models from.
Make sure it's the right direction.
Early models from like early development models from Ocarina of Time. So like a.
Oh really?
Yeah, like a rejected version of the Great Fairy.
Oh.
That like it's like a unfinished model that might be a cool starting point for stuff.
Oh, okay.
There's a few of those things in here. I'm all about like we could totally try and do like a Zelda thing.
Okay.
Like I mean like I would like it to not be like Zelda themed, but it'd be cool. We could take some like obscure models and like mix them. It'd be cool.
Some ones that are not very common.
You know, yeah, like they have like they have like all the NPCs from Ocarina of Time in here.
Wow.
Like yeah. Anyways.
So. Once you got it uploaded, you go to the next page and then you can set up all your different things here. So there's a few different skeletons. You can do like, he doesn't really have fingers, so I'm probably going to do no fingers. And then add in the chin. So you just click and drag these in, and it should, I don't know where, is that his chin?
Yeah, something like that.
So then the wrists, I'm guessing, are like right there.
Something like that.
Yeah, that looks like where a bone would be. Elbows, and then the knees.
I think he's got double jointed legs is what is
And then
tricky about this character.
I'm guessing that's.
We'll find you a better, more humanoid model for later.
This will be good to test out. Let's see what what happens. So this usually works really great. And if you ever have like a model that you just want to like see what it looks like with animation on it, like. This is a fun way to do it. And you can export this and bring it back into Blender and you'll be set. There he is.
Man, so
actually worked really well.
Yeah,
like, even got his little like neck and everything.
It super worked great. That's wild. Definitely like, again, his hands are, wait, can you go back and rig it? With, well, it'll probably do something super weird if you try and put his hands on his feet and his feet on his hands. Right, because like that's how this character works.
Okay, so this is then his.
That's his elbow.
And this. And
those are his wrists.
His wrists.
And those are his knees.
His knees are.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity.
Okay.
Yeah, this is probably gonna get a really glitchy result, is my guess.
He might be upside down. I don't know.
Oh right, yeah. He might just invert himself totally.
All right, make some. Let's see what you got here.
Right. So here's like the issue, right? Is like these like rigs are based on like body plans. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like a human's body plan and functionality. That's not terrible. That's kind of how it works. So he's kind of walking on his knees.
I can't really tell, yeah.
Can you like move it, give him like a different animation? Whatever, it's maybe not worth it because it's gonna look so weird.
Oh, whoops.
Whoa, what was that?
That's his skeleton right now and it's all messed up.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I'm like, oh cool. Ooh.
All right, we're really pushing it here. Let's see.
Yeah, okay. Make it more normal. Sorry everyone. I just wanted to see.
Oh, I see. He does have like two knees, huh?
Yes.
So there's one higher up and one lower down.
He's double. Yeah.
Weird. Yeah. So like this, you definitely want probably a custom. But maybe that's what's funny about it is that he's not actually walking the way he's supposed to.
Oh, totally. Yeah, exactly. I think that's funnier. I'm all for this thing being funny. A key feature of this music that I'm making, as I'm sure you could tell just by listening to it earlier, I'm not taking myself very seriously, and it's not very serious music. It's kind of goofy, fun music, and so I would like anything to accompany it to be goofy and fun as well. That's kind of my whole MO. Goofy and fun.
All right. There we go.
Sweet.
All right, so we hit next, and then it should load him in to do its thing.
Oh my god. Breakdancing Sebulba is so good.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, there was the playing drums. That would be pretty funny.
Yes.
Make it a band.
Oh man,
There we
speaking
go.
of playing drums, I just found an Ice King model.
Oh, I saw it just a second ago. But yeah, these are great, and like I said, it's a great way to kind of visualize your characters before. And a lot of these will actually work with within game engines too. So if you're working in Unity or Unreal, you can import a lot of these and bring them into your game.
Oh yeah. Poodoo.
It's got like, oh yeah, well that worked pretty good. Cool. So that's an example of probably what we'll be doing as far as just like getting some animation in and then doing a little bit of our own custom stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, so we'll cook up some, like, I think what would be cool would be to like find some models to modify rather than doing them from scratch. It'd be kind of interesting.
mm-hmm.
Like remix some models, you know?
Yeah, so a lot of these, let's just, I can go through and if we download this, so this is a nice loop right now. So I can download this. I'll just take a FBX. It comes in with the model already, which is great. I usually just do, this just gives you fewer keyframes. And then can download that and bring it into Blender.
It's so mind-blowing to me that there's like so many of these formats are so compatible.
Mm-hmm.
It's really wild. Like you know, like MIDI kind of works that way, but otherwise, like, you know, like so many, like I can't take like a complex chain of plugins and move them from DAW to DAW unless they're all, you know what I mean? Like there's a bunch of caveats to that. Like it's like really cool that you can make a model in one app and bring it to another.
Let's see, where did it go? It was this one.
Yeah.
So you see there's the keyframes there, and
That's a lot of data.
our model is absolutely tiny, but need to fix the scale. I wonder if that was an option in there. I didn't see that as a option. No. Huh.
He's a very small guy, but it seems like, I mean, that's, you know,
Yeah.
centimeter scale, right?
It's, yeah, like this cube is 2 by 2 meters. Whoops. The
Right,
cube
each one of
is-
those squares is a
Yeah.
meter.
So-
oh, no, okay.
He's absolutely tiny. So let's see if we can scale that up.
Oh my gosh, he's so small.
Just want to make sure I have everything selected way up. So that's like, I don't know how tall he is, but
He's pretty.
6 foot tall.
No, he's small. He's like 2 or 3 feet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, according to Wikipedia, he is 3'7",
Okay, so like
or
maybe
3.7 feet.
right
so,
about there.
So like,
Okay.
thank you. 1.12 meters.
So then we can just apply the transforms. There we go. So that should work.
Man, he looks pretty cool.
Yeah. So every piece of him is actually a separate piece, which is interesting. So this, yeah, it does work. If we want to
So that's
see
kind of convenient, right? Because we
pictures.
could like really, like, it'd be pretty easy like modify him without like.
Mm-hmm. Whoops.
That's
If
it.
I want to get this to loop, I have to. So the only problem is that these rigs are kind of they're hard to modify after the fact.
Oh right, yeah.
They don't have any controls. I mean, I can go in and manually. I can still go into pose mode and move stuff, but it's they're kind of hard to animate. I don't know what his little like hook he's got going on there.
It's like part of his little like belt or something.
Oh, I see. It's his. I see. It's clothes, huh?
Or something. He's pretty unclothed for the most part.
So let's see, 157. We can make this loop for us. Let's just add a light in here for the sake of. Why is my setting is not?
Oh, you're like tabbing setting.
Yeah, my tab for the pie menu thing. So weird to not have it. It's in. I always forget what tab. Yeah, key map, and then I like this tab for pie menu. That way you can get to all your settings a lot quicker. So let's add a. In that video, I did notice they didn't have any like shadows or anything. So I don't know how like.
Oh right, yeah, it's very simple.
Yeah, but just for the sake of having shadows here, we can. Did I just add that on accident? I did. But you can just hide the mesh there, and then you have the same animation in Blender that we did on the website. So,
man, I love the like low res mesh, like all scaled up, or like the,
Oh, his like texture.
Like the texture, yeah. It's like that's exactly the look, and it's like it gets all weird when it moves around because it's all pixelated. Yeah, that's the look, man.
So, we can, I don't know if they have like, just like scenes or anything, like maps, but we can find a location or something, some map from one of the games or, something for the backdrop. I did like the sort of idea of some basic scene and then like a flat picture for the background. In that video, like it was very obvious that it was like just either one texture on the floor that had just a flat plane as the background.
Well, they've got a lot of scenes here.
Well, there are some different locations.
They have like whole levels from Mario 64.
Oh, sweet. That would be pretty fun.
Yes. Oh my gosh, like the entire stage for Lethal Lava Land. That's like a big thing. Wow. There's like Bowser. Oh, the Bowser in the Dark World Arena would be a cool, like if you were going to have like a battle happen somewhere. Yeah, there's a bunch of Mario stuff in here. That's pretty cool. I didn't see much of like the Zelda exterior spaces or interior spaces, but it's like the first floor of Peach's castle interior with like all the like mural all over the walls that you could like retexture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, any of those just like change it a little bit to it's familiar but not the same.
Yes, yeah. I think that's like I think that's what makes that Sharda video. I mean, there's so many things that are charming about that video, but I think that's one of the big ones is that it feels familiar but not. Like it's like triggering my nostalgia, but I'm not sure what exactly I'm nostalgic for. They have the Polygon fighters from Smash.
Oh, really? That would be pretty funny.
Fighting Polygon Jigglypuff, for example, like in terms of like, just like a low poly character to mess with. They also have the stages from Smash 64.
So this is the look that I really like.
Yes.
So it's like, all you have to do, like I just turned the resolution of the render down and like turn the sampling to only 1 when it, like an Eevee, if you set it back up to, I think it's normally at 16, you get kind of this like blur. But if you have it low, it essentially gives you like pixel graphics. Like maybe we can go to like 25% of 1080. And then you get kind of that like crusty.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly like the.
Yep. Yeah, it's got all the aliasing stuff on the edges or whatever, like weird crap. What does it look like when you render animation like that? Can you render a handful of frames or something?
Yeah, so let's real quick, I can just set a temp. Oh, who's that? That was our last battle scene.
Yeah, right.
Let's go to the desktop.
Gosh, I really like how that text turned out, by the way.
Oh yeah, so this is last week's, yeah.
So cool. Like that might be a good like that look for like a we could try and.
Oh, the intro, like kind of a similar like.
We don't need to. Let's try not to like be too derivative of that.
I mean, it would be cool to show how.
Yeah,
how you
like
could
it could be in there
like
somewhere. Just like I don't want to like I
Have it be
don't want to
exactly
copy the
the same.
storyboard. I am definitely down to copy lots of elements from it, but it needs a different storyboard.
Yeah, totally. So I'm just changing my file format here. Don't really need to change anything but the encoding.
Oh man, I just had a genius idea. GoldenEye textures and models.
Ah. Actually look.
Oh, there's
see.
not much. That's really disappointing. There's almost nothing from GoldenEye in here.
Let's actually see what the resolution of the PS1 was.
Yeah, that's using your noodle.
Can display. Oh my goodness. How can it even get that low? 256 by 224.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
And we can just set this to 100% now, and that is essentially on like a CRT. That's the lowest PS1 resolution right there.
Okay, right. So much of what what becomes pleasant to look at about that is it being viewed on a CRT, right? And so much of the low resolution, like that's how you got away with low resolution graphics in games for so long. So if any of y'all are pulling out emulators of these old games and playing them on a modern high resolution display, they look like garbage. Like it's really not the thing that I remember seeing, It's not the look I'm nostalgic for because it didn't look like that when I was a kid.
What was the frame rate of the PS1? That might be
3 or something.
Frame rate. Oh, it got 30. It probably tried to get 30.
Right.
Standard, yeah. PS1 ran at 60.
Man, I'm getting a good little list of some models to check out here.
Yeah, they ran at 60 apparently, actually.
Wow.
So there's more games running at 60 FPS than... Okay, cool. It doesn't really matter for animation too much, but, so I got that set up. Let's just render this real quick. Should be pretty fast.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about the low resolution too, is you just like pretty much, especially with the EV2. So.
I'm still seeing your blender. Oh yeah, thank you. Oh, that's beautiful. Just like oh man, there's so many things I like about that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, super cool. Sweet. This is a solid foundation, right? So
yeah,
this is our first pre-production meeting.
Yeah.
Of this, right? But we've got our So we've made some decisions. So like if I'm a musician coming, hiring someone to make a video for me or whatever, I'm coming with my song and I'm coming with some style guide stuff because I don't, if I'm just like, make me something, I'm probably not going to like it. Odds are, or maybe I will, I don't know. Like if you go find someone who you like their work, you might just be like, go nuts, do whatever. But if I've got any kind of a vision, I need to be able to explain that somehow. And so just references are really helpful. And now we got our references, we can move forward with making some cool stuff.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Alrighty. Thank you to all those that tuned in, and we'll be back here next week, same time, same place, and working on this project a little bit more. So,
yep.
Cool. Alrighty, we'll catch you all next time.
Adios.